What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review, and this time we're going to be taking a look at The Town That Dreads Sundown 2014. Now, this movie is a meta sequel to the actual Moonlight killings that inspired the original Town That Dreaded Sundown. Okay, so now that I got that out of the way, how do I feel about this movie? I really enjoyed the 2014 Town That Dreaded Sundown movie. I actually saw this one first before I ever saw the original movie, and I saw this when it first came out, and I liked it then, and I like it much more now that I saw it a second time, and now that I've seen the original movie, I can honestly say that I thought this is the better of the two. I just like the overall look and aesthetic of this movie. It's got a very sleek, polished, stylized look in the same vein as like a Scream. It's got a really good cast of actors in this movie. Well, now, while the original movie only had three actors that I kind of latched onto, this movie actually has more actors that I'm kind of interested in. That I was interested in. Actually, has a main character who I thought was much better. Actually, has a main character which what the original movie lacked. This movie has a main character that I can sympathize with, who actually has a personality, actually has a backstory, actually has a reason for doing the things that she does, and I like how she's connected to the Phantom Killer in the present day. Like I said, I think this movie has a really good murder mystery vibe going on, a whodunit, again the same vein as a Scream. So I like how this movie's over. So right off the bat, to me, this movie's much better constructed from a story standpoint. I thought the visuals in this movie were much better than they were in the original movie. It has a polished, sleek, stylized look, which for modern day horror slasher flicks, I like it, and I think it's a good style, to be honest with you. And again, this feels more like a movie and not like a pseudo documentary as the original movie did. And with that being said, this movie is much more easier to follow. Now, the original Town That Dreaded Sundown, that movie is good, but it's really interesting when the Phantom is on screen, and when the Phantom's not on screen, that movie can be kind of boring in parts. Now, this movie actually has characters and a story that you follow through, and it has and we are in the shoes of the lead character known as Jamie, played by Amber Tremlin. Now, her story is that at the beginning of the movie, her and her boyfriend Corey are at a drive-in theater watching the original Town That Dreaded Sundown movie. They go to Lover's Lane and they're attacked by this new Phantom. And those events they scarred Jamie, who was already scarred from what happened to her previously with her parents dying in a car accident and her being the only survivor of said accident. So she already has mental and emotional scars. So on top, she has this now on top of it. But instead of letting it bring her down, she actually starts her own amateur investigation into the murders and the killings, which to me makes her very proactive and very likable, because she's trying to get answers for herself, and she's working with the police in a way. So I like, right off the bat, I'm already interested in her character. She's already doing things that I want my main heroine to do, being proactive, trying to find things out on her own. And I think my favorite scene is where her and this other character known as Nick meet Charles B. Pierce Jr., the son of the original of Charles P. Pierce, the director of the original movie. They go see his son, and his son tells them a tale of a guy called Hank McCready, who is thought to be the final victim of said Phantom. And the movie kind of says that that is the descendant of McCready who's doing these new killings, as a way to put the McCready name out there as like, don't you forgot about this. How could you forget about something like this? And of course, it's revealed that that McCready's grandson, was the one doing the killings, which turns out to be Joshua Leonard, who plays a cop in this movie, who is seen throughout the film pretty much guarding the character of Jamie. He's revealed to be the grandson, and his whole reasoning for doing these killings is that he's punishing the town for their sins about forgetting the Phantom's last victim. So I like the motivation for Joshua Leonard's character to do the killings. However, what I don't like is the big twist that happens. So the ending reveals that the character of Corey was never killed by the Phantom. It was all staged. And his reasoning for helping Joshua Leonard's character do the killings was because he's lived in Texarkana his whole life, and he feels that he's just going to be like his father. So he wants to be remembered for something more. So Corey's motivation for faking his own death is really dumb and kind of stupid, but Joshua Leonard's motivation is actually much more clear, makes more sense, and you kind of understand where he's coming from. The Corey thing is just flat out stupid. It's pretty much it. His motivation is I want to be famous motivation, so I'm going to help kill people type deal. So it's stupid. And not only that, his character ends up dying for real when he gets shot in the head. So yeah, go figure. So yeah, from a story standpoint, I thought I like this movie better. From a visual standpoint, I thought this movie looks much more stylized and much better than the original movie. I like the killings much more in this movie. The Phantom in this movie is much more visceral. He's much more like in your face, much more gorier, and I like that stuff a lot. And I also like how they recreate the trombone dagger scene with these two kids in like a junkyard. It's much more graphic in this movie than it was in the last movie. I also like when the Phantom attacks this couple in a hotel. You know, he pretty much bashes the window with a guy's decapitated skull, and then he viciously stabs this girl and this woman in the trunk seat of a car. There's this other great scene where he shoots a cop in the eye, and then he chases that cop's girlfriend around a cornfield, which is actually a really creepy, suspenseful scene, and I like the way it was handled and directed. Yeah, Alfonso Germez Jihan. If I pronounce his name wrong, I'm sorry. He did a good job behind the director's chair when it comes to this movie. Gave it a good aesthetic. All the actors do a good job. The story is easy to follow. So yeah, when all's said and done, despite my criticism with it, I overall recommend this movie over the original one. Though I do say watch the original one because it is a cult classic and that deserves to be watched. But also give this one a watch too, because it is actually really good, and I have no problem giving it a solid 8 out of 10. I can honestly say that I think this is better than the original movie. It's more entertaining, it has a better look and better feel, better story, and just overall, to me, it's just flat out better. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for the 2014 Town That Dreaded Sundown movie. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment sections down below. Did you like it? Do you hate it? I would like to know. Like this video and subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.